tell me about Huawei, about the UK now on the fence. Part of the government wants to buy Huawei's technology, and another part of the government is a bit worried that there's a backdoor. And same exact thing in the United States. What is your belief?
Yeah, it's all in the entire free world, and I'll tell you exactly who's on the side. On any of those countries, whether UK, Germany, Poland, United States, Japan, Korea, defense and intelligence communities are like, no way Huawei, and businesses, we got to have Huawei. And the reason is because business is incentivized by the Chinese to actually come in on their side politically. That's happening everywhere. If you go to Germany, Germans sell so many cars in China, right? And the Chinese says, you want to sell cars in China? You better not block Huawei. And the guys in defense and the intelligence community are saying, okay, but you see what they can do with social media and all this data.
But what is your belief with the technology? Do you believe that there is a backdoor gateway for them to access through their routers and stuff?
Absolutely.
You do.
You go look at the African National Congress headquarters. You look at Vodafone in Italy. You look at Czechoslovakia. You look at Sweden. I mean, there's so many
instances.
There's a great report out there by Finance State that really kind of documents all of those things, and then goes through, I think, 9,000 pieces of firmware for different Huawei products, and so it's clearly the most insecure of the products. But the things that in that report that I found that was probably the most interesting is they looked at two versions of firmware for different things, where vulnerabilities that had been identified in this hardware, and so they looked at the next version, the upgraded version that was supposed to patch the vulnerability. The vulnerability was gone, where in that patch, because it had been moved somewhere else in the firmware. So it wasn't where it was found the first time, so they moved it somewhere else. So you could say, hey, you're just bad, at what you do. But when you move this vulnerability that's been identified to another, you're basically hiding it. It's clear that something else is going on. The other thing that's going on, and this is a report that I think will come out soon. What the PLA does with Huawei is really interesting, because we in the U.S. have reservists, right? So you may work at AT&T, and then 1 week in a month you go work for the Army, right? So what they do is they have people that work full-time in the PLA, and then 1 week in a month you may go work for Huawei, and that may be that you're going to upgrade a system in the UK. So this is how their system works. They have kind of a reverse reservist program that you actually spend a part of your time in the commercial world. Of course, all companies are controlled by the Chinese Communist Party by law. So I think this is a part of, as you begin to understand how the system works, right? China, big place, Chinese people, wonderful people. Chinese Communist Party, bad.